Everybody for the opportunity. My name is the Regional Stool Lands Officer for the Northern Region. Here we have oversight over the operations of the office in the Savannah and in the Northeast regions. Over here, basically, what we do, the mobilization of rent from skin land areas. Basically, we collect ground rent, farm rent, and a little bit of rent from mining concession. But ground rent forms about, I should say, about 60% of the revenue. Farm rent contributes about, should I say, about 25%, and the rest to the mining concession. Payment of ground rent is very, very important. Over the years in the northern region here, since this office was established, I can say from around the year 2000, when the year 2002, when the operations of the office started here, we moved from a paltry sum of about less than 40,000. Currently, we are doing about 3.1 million cedis per year, and this revenue is available to the various stakeholders, especially the district, metropolitan, municipal and metropolitan assemblies, for development of the communities that these revenues are generated from. And these have contributed immensely to a lot of developmental projects across the country. Just recently, we went around to look at projects that have been funded with stool land revenue. And you move around, and even though the resources we generate from these places are not many, you can see tangible projects that are making impact in the lives of people. For instance, a girls' dormitory was built to promote the girl child education in the Bali district. You find an ICT center which was fully funded by revenue from stool lands. You see community center that was supposed to promote social cohesion in some of our communities. You find currently an abattoir project currently in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region, for instance. A number of boreholes have been built. Solar panels have been provided in certain communities where access to electricity is a challenge. We can name so many of this, and that is a testament to the fact that the work we are doing is impacting society in a great way, alleviating poverty and contributing to the developmental agenda of the country. Of course, if we collect these monies, to what it also means is that a chunk of this revenue is also available to our traditional authorities, as the Constitution stipulated, to use to keep up to their status of being the custodians of our culture. So it is very, very important that everybody out there, once you acquire land for any use, you pay. It is a contractual obligation, because once you have access to land for any use, you have exclusive right over that piece of land. To every right comes a responsibility, and the responsibility is that you pay something back, which will be used for the general good of the community. But beyond the contractual issue that I spoke about, I also see the payment of ground rent as a civic responsibility, because when you do so, revenue is available to develop our community. The projects I've mentioned are just some of them. You go to other parts of the country, we have very impactful projects that we can point to that these revenues have been used to finance, and it's very, very important. But one of the issues that I think is the most important, which when I have the opportunity, I remind people, is that payment of rent is actually a duty you owe to yourself as the owner or somebody that has acquired interest in land, you owe it to yourself to secure or to protect that interest. And one of the ways you can secure it is by paying your rent. Because when you pay, you are fulfilling your obligation under that particular grant or under the acquisition, and in the future you can be sure that the interest so acquired will be secured. Because if you do not pay your rent, there are a lot of risks that you can run to in the future. Maybe you may skip it in your lifetime, but you can transfer that risk to your children. Your children may lose their property one day for non-payment of rent. So so ground rent, in a layman's language, ground rent relates to land. So the land that you acquire, you pay rent on it every year. When it comes to property rate, or what some people will call property tax, it is a tax that you pay on the development on the land. I want to speak in the layman's language so that everybody understands. So that is how it is. You pay rent on the land, and ground rent is paid right from the point of acquisition. So if you acquire today, you start paying today every year. Now, you do not pay any property rate when you acquire land. You start paying property rate when you have finished the project you intend to. You put up a building for any use, and then you move in. Then property rate kicks in. So that is the difference between the two. So when there is a property on the land and you are in active occupation, you'll be paying two: ground rent every year, property rate every year. If you have not yet developed, property rate, which is collected by the MMDAs, the municipal, the district assemblies, they collect property rate. They will come when the property is developed. So the OASL collects ground rent. So we don't collect property rate, no. The MMDAs do. We have the power, as mandated by the Constitution, to collect.